Hey, happy Friday. Wow. This week went by pretty fast. Um, or not fast enough. Depends on your take on that idea. So, welcome. I am the original poem guy, Pulp Real. Click like, subscribe, tell both your friends. Let's get a poetry revolution going, right? Because poetry is beautiful. You're beautiful. We got to get beauty going because it's kind of an ugly world right now. Let's turn that around. So today's poem is called "I Just Couldn't," and it's actually for Nelson Algren is in the title. So for those who've been reading, following along all week, this is Nelson Algren week. So I did a triptych years ago about Nelson Algren. Nelson Algren is quite possibly the greatest writer of the 20th century. He wrote Somebody in Boots, was his debut novel. He wrote The Neon Wilderness, which is a phenomenal collection of short stories. He wrote probably one of the most lyrical and beautiful novels ever, which is called Never Come Morning. And I promise you, if you love to read, that's the book. That should be your next book. He's a Chicago guy, mid-century guy. Unbelievable. Ended up in New Jersey where he wrote somebody in, The Devil's Stocking, which is a fictional recounting of the Hurricane Carter story. In an earlier video, I call him Hurricane Smith, who was a singer. Hurricane Carter is the boxer who spent years in jail for crime he didn't commit. It cost him everything. And it's a pretty tragic, real story. Anyway, Nelson Algren. Google him, get the books, read them. He's what turned me from a guy with ideas to a guy with a resume, a published resume, a publishing resume. So anyway, this is the final piece of the Nelson Algren week. It's called "I Just Couldn't" for Nelson Algren. The last time I saw Nelson, he was wearing khaki trousers and an old Navy pea coat. He had a wrinkled cigar in one hand and a silver pocket watch in the other. One of the lenses in his glasses was cracked, and he was getting into an old blue Chevy. He had thumbed down in the rain on North Avenue near Wells Street. He looked over his shoulder and half waved goodbye. I just sort of stood there and rocked on my feet as the Chevy pulled away. I turned to walk home. That's when I saw the copper flash there on the curb, but somehow I couldn't pick it up. I just couldn't. That was "I Just Couldn't" for Nelson Algren. That's the final bit in Nelson Algren week. I hope you're enjoying this stuff. I'm enjoying doing these videos. If 5 people watch them, awesome. If one person has it for background noise, I'll take that. We understand as writers and as artists, we're not going to make $1 bajillion on poetry. But every time I get a like, an angel gets its wings. You're beautiful.